quarterback.
Oh, there's a goal.
You don't have to be a fan of college sports to appreciate the majesty of March. The first 4 days of the 64-team quest to cut the nets is by far one of the most addicting marks on the sports calendar. It also allows people to realize that TruTV is still an existing network. What kind of madness has this year's tournament brought to us so far? The NCAA was full of a ridiculous amount of parity this season. You could tell from the upsets that were all but happening every few weeks. We will begin in the East because it was the most routine and predictable. Well, except for one part. Our old friends at Wichita State. Once the guys doing the shocking were shocked by Marshall with 2 in the pink and 1 in the stink. Are you tired of all of these shocking puns yet? Shockingly, I'm not finished with the cringe. Marshall shocks the world by winning their first NCAA tournament game in college history. May their couches burn like their in-state counterparts. Guess these awful puns are what you get when you're called the Shockers. As a salty Bitter Pit fan, I cannot help but feel the intense tingling of Schadenfreude. A Jamie Dixon-led squad once again underachieved in the first days of the tournament. The surging TCU crumbled to Syracuse, the last team in the tourney. Jim Boeheim gets his precious revenge after being consistently loaded over like a surf by Dixon at Pitt. And he did it by boring everyone to death. Shine on, you goddamn crazy diamond. Thanks to you, I pleasured myself furiously, then drowned myself in a bottle of whiskey before blacking out. For those of you that were eliminated from the Great Dance of March, I send my sincere condolences. Whether you were a carpet for a championship favorite or choked like a lawnmower on a clump of grass, the end of a season is agony. Fortunately, you have some sort of consolation. You can save money on tickets available on the resale market thanks to the power of SeatGeek. It drives down the middle to help you get the best price. SeatGeek color codes tickets from red to green on a 1 to 100 scale. It gives you a view from where you'll be sitting. Exercise the full court press by using the word TREE in the link below to get $20 off your first purchase. Even in the final 2 minutes, SeatGeek always comes through in the clutch. It's a buzzer beater every time. Speaking of buzzer beaters, Houston and San Diego State are going down to the wire. The Aztecs are unsheathing their obsidian clubs and hammering away at the Cougars. We are goddamn tied with 30 seconds left. This is what basketball is all about, folks. But with one shot, the Aztecs are conquered by the Spanish. Houston survives to fight another day. Fuck you, Spanos. And then we get to the South. Allow me to explain what has happened in this division. I'm dead serious. Look at the division and it's almost as if someone dropped a bomb on it. Exhibit A, goddamn Loyola-Chicago. A popular upset pick against the Miami Hurricanes. A team that hadn't made the big dance in over 30 years. But by God, under the divine power of the basketball gods and a 98-year-old nun, the Ramblers are doing the unthinkable and keeping this game close. Now it comes down to a final drive.
One timeout, they don't take it.
Stuff like this is the joy of March Madness. The lovable Cinderella taking the higher seed to task at the last second. It's what makes the first 4 days so special. Miami, tap the beer kegs, if you've got any left. On the surface, this looks like a blowout. The Longhorns are showing Nevada that Texan might is strong. Shaka Smart is looking for another deep tournament run, and they have a 14-point lead with no signs of letting up. Unfortunately for them, Eric Musselman and the Wolfpack had other plans. They crept back into the picture and brought the race back to a dead heat. But Texas will be okay as long as Mo Bamba is in the game. Only problem was that he fouled out just before overtime. Mass conspiracies by Longhorn fans abound as the Wolfpack slowly pulled away an extra basketball and won the game. Bring on the Tito's, Texas. All of the corn vodka in the world couldn't drown your sorrows this year. Arizona basketball has had a rough go over these past few months. What was supposed to be the year that the Wildcats finally broke through started off with an assistant coach getting his hand caught in the cookie jar taking bribes for recruiting. Next, we will find out the earth revolves around the sun. This was revealed to us when Sean Miller was caught on wiretap offering $100,000 for the services of top recruit DeAndre Ayton. Even with the drama, Arizona was still one of the most talented teams in the country. They lived up to such hype by crashing MarchMadness.exe and collapsing against a fucking mid-major school in Buffalo. The game wasn't even close, it was a total shit stomping from the start of the second half. The so-called best team in the country shooting a paltry 11% from 3, that stellar defense gave up points at will. This was the egg of all eggs to lay. Well done, Arizona, you are now the punchline of the tournament. I'm not done yet, put down that handle of captain. You guys also get the reward of potential sanctions, the majority of your team leaving and your top recruiting class scattering throughout the land. Makes sense in a way. You don't have to forfeit any tournament wins if you don't win any games. Virginia, on the other hand, will not disappoint. They are the safe pick to make it out of the division. A 1 seed winning in the first round is as consistent as dogs fetching a tennis ball. Like really, what the hell is University of Maryland, Baltimore County? I will tell you what that is. The team that sniped you from long range and teabagged your corpse for the entire world to see. I still cannot comprehend what the hell I saw. There's playing down to your competition, and then there's going solo that you're drilling for oil. They looked past their opponents so far that somewhere Mike Tomlin is cringing in disgust. True, UMBC played the game of their lives, but it still shouldn't have been a 20-point blowout. You failed so miserably that the UMBC webpage crashed due to all of the web traffic. It went just like the Cavalier offense. Tony Bennett crooned like his singing counterpart, but his tune was one of unadjustable croaking. We will be talking about this one for generations. Congratulations, you bracket busters. Well, that was interesting. Let's hope the round of 32 can live up to that past round's billing.
Offensive rebound, Stone. Here's Allen from the tie. No!
Close, but no cigar gators. Try again next year.
Fumbling for the tie.
There are no participation trophies in this tournament, Butler. Your princess is in another castle.
Powell, the three goes.
To your misfortune, Seton Hall, you were down by 7. You get the reward of going home. Allow me to regale you with a tale of Spartans. The men of Michigan State, led by General Izzo, have encircled those dastardly Orangemen from Syracuse. Jim Boeheim is an old man with outdated tactics. Let General Izzo lead his men to do nothing but chuck threes at their encampment. A 25% field goal rate always leads to glory. In fact, amplify this by not making a shot in the last 5 minutes and 47 seconds. This was a game where someone had to win, unfortunately. Boeheim won the battle of attrition, and Izzo is about to get undressed by his superiors for tactical incompetence. For all of their success, the Spartans are now a team of underachieving and failure in the tournament as of late. Thank God they don't have to face Persia this time. Can someone explain to me why the hell Michigan is sending out the freshmen in the final drive of the game?
At midcourt, extra pass. And it goes for the win!
Gordon goddamn Poole. Alright, where's the pile of shit I need to eat? Loyola-Chicago, it's time to summon your prayers and rally to your nuns. There's another slobber knocker taking place against Tennessee, and the Bulls have taken the lead in the final seconds. Fingers crossed, Ramblers.
Here comes the player of the year, the NBC rises.
Holy shit, they did it again. This is the furthest the Ramblers have gone in the tournament in almost 55 years. Man hadn't even walked on the moon and the world was worried about mutually assured destruction. Little would they know that destruction has happened. The destruction of brackets everywhere. I guess we could call this Custer's revenge. See, I can make shitty puns too. So does UMBC keep up the most incredible story of our times? That answer is no. Their so-called impeccable run was ended by Kansas State in a return to reality. May your team turn into a squad that reminisces about that one game for an eternity. Let's look in at last year's national champion North Carolina against the Aggies. When you think they should be doing well, they struggle so much that you can mistake them for a pickup squad. They were tarred and feathered all game long. There's so much choking going on that Andy Reid is pleading with these teams to stop with the choking. We will have a new champion though. Positive? Well, this is looking like a blowout and then some. The Bearcats boast a 22-point lead over Nevada with about 11 minutes left in the game. They have a 99.9% win probability. Cincinnati has something to cheer for in sports again. I'm honestly happy for them. It's not as if they're going to completely shit away the game and have people think the city is cursed. What the fuck, Bearcats? Weren't you supposed to be good this year? 8 points in 11 minutes? In a year of chokes, this is the choke de la choke. Are we sure Marvin Lewis isn't incognito coaching this team? This has to be divine punishment. Best defensive team in basketball, my ass. Mount Cronin chose to erupt repeatedly and is probably on his way to having another aneurysm. God, this is pathetic. At least you've got Xavier, Cincy. Here's some better luck for that city. Xavier has an 11-point lead over the Seminoles with just under 9 minutes left. Come on, the sports gods don't have it out that badly for you. Xavier is a #1 seed for a reason. They aren't going to If the Bearcats made Cincinnati reach for the highball glass, Xavier drove them to chug the entire bottle. They bungled the shit out of that game. It wasn't a Bearcat collapse, but it still makes me wonder if they stumbled onto some of that delicious Boudreaux barbecue before the game. The basketball world is burning. I want to bask in its flames. Well, it's been rather interesting this year. You can't blame me for jinxing anyone either. I didn't do a bracket this year. May we see more chaos in the Sweet 16 and Elite 8. I'm going to relish this.
Somebody hold it up there.
Hold it up, hold it up.
Hold it up. Put it up there.
Touch on that kid. Touch on that kid.
Hold on, where's that go?
Right there, baby.
Right there, where's that go?
Where's that go?
Right there.
Right there.